Hello.
虎の館と知って飛び込んでくるか。その度胸やよし、歓迎するぞ。
親方様、今日までの鍛錬、この雪村めに示させていただきたく。
よかろう、やってみせよ、雪村。
うらー、俺たちも負けてられねえぜ。
陣地の利を生かし、
よい最強、俺様最強。武田が心得人は早くこの風のごとく、これすなわち先手必勝なるや。
では当然その速さに兵法はあるの。
俺様には勝てねえよ。兵法？それは平さん相変わらず燃えちゃってるね。熱いわ、マジ熱いわ。マジ熱い。しかもキレの物言い、その雪村いまいち下せん。
Okay, well, it was working. It was working. But the sound cut out, so as soon as I finish this level, it's gonna crash. That's weird, because I did like a good 3 levels in a row without it crashing, which is more than usual. But I'm guessing it's still a little unstable. Well. Alright, let's troubleshoot here a little bit. I don't want to fight with it too much, but I did turn on the unlock frame rate, so maybe that made it freak out. I'm willing to do a little bit of troubleshooting on this. Like, not too much. Is my mic on? Let's try that again. At least it happened early. That's what makes this a real pain in the ass to play, is the fact that it happens at the end of a level. But if the sound cuts out, then you know that whatever you're doing is not going to save, because it won't stabilize. Let's try that again. The source is probably all messed up, huh? Oh no, it's not. That's surprising. It's one thing that's working. I'm not even really pissed off about it. It's whatever. One crash, I've been playing for like half an hour. One crash is not bad. It's not like this game has long levels anyway. They're all like 20 minutes. Pretty arcadey, Luso game. There's a couple that are pretty long, but this game's pretty to the point. Let's see if that happens again. Because I was playing on the Steam Deck and it like hasn't crashed at all. I played for like a good hour today. I was about to say it was, but it just crashed. Doing some field testing right now.
早くこと風のごとくこれすなわち先手必勝なり
I don't want to get people's hopes
それ
up.
は問うがその速さに兵法はあるんだ
It's not easy to get this game running in English. You need a pretty good computer too.
この
PS3
雪
emulation is pretty demanding.
意志なき風にことは運べんと
I just got one crash, but I've been playing on the Steam Deck a decent chunk today offline, and I had like no crashes at all. So what I'm thinking happened is, whenever they updated, they didn't like fix this game in particular, but whenever they updated latest hotfixes, like made it more stable.
こと火のごと
Still not 100%, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what happens. This level's pretty quick to clear if
静かに癒す
you get the rising sun. So
大将俺様が時間稼ぐ間に
I'm gonna keep spamming this level for a little bit because you can clear it in like
俺
5
様のお仕
minutes.
事本日はここまであとは任せたぜ
I just want to test the crashes.
よし来たサスケ
Not really going
生き
for
るな任され
hardcore gameplay right now, especially since I can't find my old save.
わしを踏み外すで
My old save is kaput. I have no idea where it is. I was looking for it for like 10 minutes and I couldn't find it. But if the game is not crashing anywhere near as much as it used to, I don't mind starting over. Especially because I play this in a language I have like a very
そこんとこ分かってるよな
minimal understanding of. I can read and hear some of it.
心
But
へ一つ
this game's got
たぎる
quite a bit more reading
ごと
than
く
Koei Muso
男の
games.
たぎる肉体こそ明日をつなぐ架け橋な
You would think that with it being like more arcadey, like beat 'em up focused,
今一度
than
己の風林
Koei
火山を
Muso game, that it would have like less reading, but no, it has a lot more.
大変だ知りがたきこと影のこと
Deceptive amount of reading involved in playing this.
もうよい雪村わしのもとへ来い風林火山の何たるかお主に直接見せてくれるわ行くぞ雪村
親方様
Can you guys hear me by any chance? Is my mic on?
ありがたき
Yes, no?
幸せ
見たか雪村これぞ誠の風林火山
I need to know if my mic is on. I need a response here.
豊臣
I'm guessing my mic is not on. Oh, okay, it is on. Alright. Yeah, sorry to call out lurkers. If I can do like 3 of this in a row, 3 or 4 of this in a row, without it crashing, then the stability has massively increased. This game was such a pain to play. It's nothing to do with the game itself, it's the emulator. It killed the fun of the game, that's why I stopped streaming this game. But like I said, I played like a good hour today on Steam Deck, like a couple runs in a row, and it didn't crash at all. So I'm going to assume that maybe it was partially fixed. The RPCS3 team does not care to fix this game. This is one of the most broken games, the most broken games on the emulator. For stuff that like matters, I'm sure there's like random shovelware that doesn't work, but this is a pretty high-profile game that people want to play because it's not available in English. You can't buy it in America, and you can't read it either. Pretty high demand compared to some of the other stuffs. Let's change the music. Avoid all the ones that have copyrighted music. Need to dodge the meme music. They don't have Sekigahara Intrusion? That kinda sucks. I could probably boost it up to hard now. You can get some medals as well. The patch was a lot more stable to install too. It used to take like a really long time, but they seem to have streamlined the process. It took a good like 20 minutes to install, unlike the deck and the computer. It's not the patch that's causing it to be unstable, by the way. It's the emulator. All the patch does is just change some files around. Sorry if this is going to be boring to watch. I'm testing stability right now. And you can clear this level in like under 5 minutes. Especially when it keeps giving you the rising sun like this. Gotta treat this like the greater rifts in Diablo 3, just like quick little 3-minute fights. Mostly the audio cuts out. If the audio cuts out, then the game will crash every time. If the audio does not cut out, then the game will actually like continue. It'll transition. I just decided to do some live testing because there was no streams I wanted to watch right now. So I'm really on it a little bit. Usual people I watch, I'll stop early. Daylight saving doesn't help me with that either. Everybody goes on and goes offline like an hour earlier. Hour later, actually.
大変だ。知りがたきこと影のごとし扉が開いてしまった。よし来た。この雪村任された。なんともいなる身のこなし。目も追いつかない。そう。
It's really easy to break this game anyway. Just pick Kenshin. Kenshin can steamroll through all the content. He's like the most broken Uso character out of the entire genre. Nobody else even comes close. I don't really care that I can't find a save. If it's not crashing, I won't mind playing from scratch. Especially because I know how to break this game. You just level up Kenshin, use him as the bus driver, and he just carries you through the game. Go through the hardest difficulty with like nothing with him. It's ridiculously overpowered. I just don't want to put that much effort into it unless I know it's at least like has an 80% chance of not crashing. This game does not have interim saves like Koei Tecmo Musou games do, where you can like save the instance and come back later. This game doesn't have that. So when it crashes, you lose everything. Like you just wasted 10 minutes of your time. It's just like Tales of Vesperia on Switch. Oh, that game would crash all the time. That game has no autosave or quick save at all. So if it crashed and you're an hour in a dungeon, like the game kind of doesn't really function. It really doesn't work. I mean, it's playable, but not in an enjoyable way. This game is very much the same. If it crashes like that, then you lose everything. You don't keep anything. It got really obnoxious, that's why I kind of gave up on this. But I just kind of set it up on the Steam Deck a couple days ago. And I haven't had a single crash, so... What is this? This is like the third run now. If I do 5 runs and it's consistent, then I'll probably play this. Since I don't really have any new games to play right now. Wolong sucks. The port is bad. Wild Hearts is good, but the port is bad. I don't have anything else I'm really buying this month. I think people would enjoy watching this. As long as I'm not getting pissed and it's crashing. Which would piss off a Saint, admittedly. This game is not designed to recover from a crash. There's definitely some games out there where it crashes and it's like not that big a deal because of auto saves, but this game ceases to function if it crashes. That's why I stopped playing Vesperia on Switch, because it crashed on me like 4 times in the same dungeon. If they ever brought back like Xelia, ever brought back like Xelia 2, that game does have quick save. So if they did a shit job porting it and it crashed, it would still be playable. It wouldn't be ideal, of course, it shouldn't be crashing at all, but a little bit easier to recover from crashes in that game.
体をいたわらぬ者になぞわしの試練は受けさせられぬわ。
It's weird that this game is so unstable on emulator, because it's like a really well-made game. It's extremely well-made. I mean, this game runs at 60 FPS locked on a PS3. And like, in comparison, Musou games on the Koei Tecmo Muso games on PS3 were really, really choppy.
親方様が転んだ
I guess whatever optimizations they did to like make it run on such bad hardware, I guess the emulator doesn't like it. It's the downside of it, I guess. So I'm going the long way. I didn't kill him fast enough. That's okay. Just test the stability more.
このわしが見ておるぞ。もうよい雪室。
Alright.
わしのもとへ来い。
I wouldn't say fixed. I've had one crash, but it's crashing far less than it used to. It might actually be playable now. I was just talking about this before you came in, but this game is not designed to recover from a crash at all. Which is weird because the game is like super stable and has like barely any bugs or performance hits, even on like real hardware. The PS3 version that I put like hundreds of hours into, like it runs perfectly, but the emulator just like could not handle it. I put a good like maybe 20-30 hours into the emulated version, but then it kept crashing and I got really sick of playing it. It was ruining an otherwise fun game. It's like not really supposed to be doing that, of course. Let's see what else they got here. Yeah, I don't want to make a video about this. I don't, you guys know how much I hate clickbait. I don't want to make a video with, like, my mouth open saying that the game is fixed. I had one crash, and that was only because I removed the frame rate limiter. But ever since this is like the 4th or 5th run I've done, and it hasn't crashed, so... If it's not fixed, it's at least more stable. Which isn't a bad thing, really. It was semaphore, because the music cut out, so I didn't even bother. I didn't even bother finishing the level, I just rage quit. Yeah, audio semaphore, yeah. That's like the #1 cause of it. If the sound cuts out, then just stop playing, pretty much. Because you're not going to be able to finish that run, it's going to soft lock. Alright, so I think this is going to be like the 5th run and it hasn't crashed. Oh, I forgot I can change the costume, the Game of Death costume. Oh, not that one. That one's pretty cool too, actually. Let's just try that one for a little bit. It's got the nunchaku. You know how much I love those. I don't remember if he had any cool costumes. Oh, he has the Nagamasa palette swap. Monster Hunter one. I don't really like that one.
Sakon, 帰ります。
虎の館と知って飛び込んでくるか。その度胸やよし、歓迎するぞ。
親方様、 日までの鍛錬この雪村めに示させていただきたく。
よかろう。やってみせよ雪村。
俺たちも負けてられねえぜ。
なんのこれ式のこと押されたうちに入らん。
武田が心得一つ。早く風のごとくこれすなわち先手必勝なれ。
Yeah, I haven't, Zex, I haven't tweaked the settings at all. This is like, stop. This is stop settings. The only thing I did was, I upscaled it to 1080p, so it's running at double the resolution. But, other than that, I didn't tweak anything.
静かに癒すこと林のごとく。大将、俺様が時間稼ぐ間に気合い入れ直してよ。
我が軍を阻む者なんてありはしねえ。
忍びってやつは言い方もばっかっしょ。けどあんたは嫌いになれないんだよな。
そいつは奇遇だね。俺様のお兄さんみたいなの嫌いじゃないんだ。
見えましたぞ。あちらこそ敵の泣きどころ。
はい、俺様のお仕事、本日はここまで。あとは任せたぜ、大将。
よし来たサスケ、この雪村任された。押されているか。
神風ってのがあんだろ。それがあれよ。
まさしく熱狂か。確かに飛んだ時代を開いたものよ。
Definitely feeling the power creep from the new computer. Because when it compiles shaders, it doesn't lag at all anymore.
武田が心得一つ。たぎること火のごとく。
The thing that sucks about console emulation is it has to compile the shader every time that you come across something you haven't seen before. So for a fast-paced action game like this, it essentially means the first run you do is like unplayable. Because it's going to be stuttering constantly. Which I mean, I'm kind of used to at this point, because that's how PC ports have been this year.
その術、実は糸とかで釣ってんでしょ。そうですよね。
Stutter City.
ね
はばかりながら今こそ秦軍の好機と存じますれば。
まだ見ぬつわものの態度、それ自体は喜ばしきことじゃ。出直せ。
この雪村、今一度己の風林火山を見つめ直し候。ここらで王将をいきますか。かかる。
了解いたした。さらばだ、金よ。お主もまた友であった。 まで取られると。
よいよまずいぞ。君ただこれ精進あんのみ。慢心するなかれ。見て驚け。これが武田名物親方様が転んだだ。
雪村お主は虎じゃ。敵像を渡れた猛虎じゃ。
I can't tell you how impressive it is that they got this to run in like a locked 60 FPS on PS3. And like any Muso game that was not BASARA ran like shit on PS3. All of them. Like barely 30 FPS. But I guess that's why it's so hard to run an emulator, because it's doing all kinds of weird stuff with the hardware to make it like actually playable. This game's got a lot of just frame inputs and parries and stuff. They had to like really prioritize the performance. This game's like 8 years old now. It's ironic how they don't do that anymore. Wild Heart's a good example. Have a weapon in that game that's based around like just frame parries, but it's dropping frames like stuttering constantly. The game doesn't even function. I really like the umbrella in that game too, but the tech issues just made it like unusable.
わしの構成見事しのいでみよ。手負いの虎は恐ろしいぞ。お主の前に立ちはだかるは人にあらず、血肉に飢えた空腹の虎よ。 その程度で三成の補佐が務まるか。鍛錬せよ若造。見たか雪村。
Alright, I think we can say this is pretty stable. The mental stability of this game and emulator has increased. The one crash I got was when I disabled the frame rate limiter, which all it does in this game is it makes the menus run at 60, which is nice. It's definitely one of the things that sucks about this game is, as much as people like to keep parroting that frame rate doesn't matter in turn-based games, I'm like, no, it does, because this game has really laggy menus. And like, when I put the frame limiter on, I got exactly one crash. As soon as I turned it off, it has not crashed. That was like the 5th straight run on this boot. Because generally, before, it was like, it would crash, maybe like 2-3 levels tops you could play, and then it would get the semaphore error where it soft locks. So I think we can say this is pretty stable. Seems like it's actually functioning as intended now. I seriously doubt they did anything to this game itself, because they clearly do not care. This is one of the more high-profile games to emulate because it's not available in English. Looking pretty good to me. That was a significant amount of gameplay, and it didn't crash. You can see all these too. Having these in English is like the biggest thing that you get from the patch, because this is where the majority of the reading comes from in this game. Other than that, this game is pretty easy to play as a gaijin, but having this in English is a really big boon. Well, I guess I can tell people that this is working pretty well. It seems to be pretty stable. Way more than it was, at least. A couple crashes every now and then isn't bad. It's just when it was like every 10 minutes, the game kind of really, it sucked the fun out of the game. now I could argue you probably could play this. And it's not my computer being upgraded either, because I've been playing this on the Steam Deck in private. I can't stream that game on the Steam Deck because it's too demanding. It hasn't been crashing on the Steam Deck either, so it's something that they updated. The game just runs better. That's all I can really say about it. Which is a very good thing. More people can play this game. Maybe I'll probably make a video for this when I'm on vacation. I'll schedule it to go out in like a couple days because I want to field test a little bit more, see how stable it is. But I just did like 5 runs in a row and it didn't crash, so that's already way better than it was. Alright, let's go ahead and try the story. Thing muted, but I don't care. We're just chilling. I kind of need to test this because a lot of times it would crash too, I think.
信じらんねえ。夢と
What's
か
the
ってオ
least
チじゃ
annoying
ねえ
level
よな。
though? Because we're not
こ
really
れ
going for
俺
gameplay
本当
here.
にここにいるんだよな。
This is strictly a field test.
何をほうけている。貴様には先陣を切れと命じたは
I
ず
don't
だ。
think we'll do any of the gimmicky levels. It's kind of just
サトン
wanna
帰ります。
spam quick clears, see how the stability is. So in free mode it's pretty stable. Just need to see if it's stable.
また見境もなく
story
各
mode.
地の宝を取り寄せたのか。このままで
Even
は
if
い
it
ずれ
wasn't, you could just
我
go
が家の
download
家計
a
を
100%
広く
save that they have in the Discord and just play free mode. That's not really missing
ほら
much.
わらわの美しさ以上にも大事なものが
Continue
何
the
か言
test.
ってないで早く受け取ってきなさいね
Diagnostics.
姉上姉上敵襲だ。
そんなのどうでもいいから早くなさい全部受け取り終わるまで帰ることは許さないわよ
やむを得まい。
未来をつかみかけ勝て。命を張って必死こいて俺に勝て。
賭博など正義ではない。滅べ悪路爆闘。
マリア様、最上名産千歳紅の献上です。
少し色がくすんでいるな。姉上ならば捨てかね。
もういらないからあなたが好きにして
どうやら続々各地の宝が運び込まれている様子。かくなる上は奪って儲け、敵の士気を下げましょうぞ。
山政様をお守りして中政様だけ守りきるの
その程度の働きでまだ3時には及ばない。
大金星を上げてこいっつうことですね。了解。
あらあなたのものになるってことわらわをとろけさせてくれるなら考えてみるあらいい口ねあと3つほど揃えましょうか
姉上せめて1に1つくらいは。
あの頃の俺があっちにもこっちにも嫌だ。バカな本当にバカ野郎だ。
ここはもう一押し二押しするべきかも
戦場で強いっていうのは正義なんだよ。
これこういうだって位置使っちゃダメ
少しくらい。いやダメだ。耐えるのだ1。
あなた正義とかっこつけているけれど傍から見れば好きだらけで姉様恥ずかしいわ
姉上の小言を頂戴するたびこの長政に隙が生じている気がする。
俺たちも負けてらんねえぜ。
クソ
流れが良くねえからこそ槍の振るいがいがあるってもんだ。
それがしは最後の目に見限られた。ただそれだけ。
生は不病にして断末魔は公平よな。
南蛮菓子ね。わらわはこちらの方が好みね。中政様、一も欲しい。
すまぬ。姉上から譲り受けられる気がしないのだ。
あなたたちってどうしてそんな。まあいいわ。
マリア様、この宝物と恋文をお受け取りくだされ。
Takes too long.
はいはい、わかったわ。
Only thing I want to do is just spam clears. They shouldn't have picked this level. It's too gimmicky.
なあ、
I don't remember what makes them open the door.
俺たちのことすっげえ見てるよな。マジ怖えよな。うっしゃ、三成様にいいとこ見せたぜ。で、あれ
山政様、また姉様のことばかり。一のお手伝いするわ。
そっからどうするかが意地の見せ所ってね。
あなたにはわからない。一の山政様の苦しみなんて。
道場はしねえし手も抜かれえ。でなきゃ掴み取るもんが嘘になっちまう。
一が欲しい。
I don't mind it. It's just I'm trying to test the stability right now. Like the only thing that matters is how quickly I can clear. It's like a speed run, pretty much. The only thing that matters.
お前たち、わらわを喜ばせたくないの？悲しいわ。
But the fact that it hasn't done it yet, I've been on this map for a couple days now. It's compared to how it was.
これで城一つが姉上の布置き場に。
Come on, open. Wish I didn't get this right now. I can't do anything.
活目すべし浅井長政、輝く剣我が胸にあり。
うるさいわね。
見事だったよ。あんた俺たちが。
マリア様、最後の品をお持ちしま
Come
し
on,
た。
open the door.
今
Stop
すぐ
talking.
お運びいたします。
聞くのぶかね。わらわをこんなに任せるなんて。
キー様とマリア様、あでやかなる花二つを守らん。
手前勝手も杉地低すも等しく悪の間際である。あ、いや姉上、今のは言葉のあやで。
バッチも戦もマジでやるから熱なんだ。ここがよ遺産も
立つのだ。戦はまだ終わってはおらぬ。
I hate auto-scroller shit like this. That's always been my biggest complaint with this game is how many levels are just like
そこん
not
とこ
fun.
分かってるよな。
Gimmicky stuff. I wish this game had the level design for free. It's like, hey, just go in a straight line and just fight stuff.
この浅い連
Trying
射
to
手
get a
法
little
を前
bit
に
more innovative with the
大い
level
に
design.
おののくがよい。
When you play the game for hundreds of hours, you get really sick of levels like this.
その調子で頑張って。
But there's a couple good levels that are pretty straight.
お任せくだされ。
So once you unlock them all, just kind of just play them. Notice how I got a lot of time out of this. You definitely do wish in retrospect that they had made so many gimmicky designs.
キー様の直接は目
Fun the first couple times,
マリア
but
様を見る時のあの目は
just like
どう
DMC
しまし
campaigns,
ょう。
puzzle
きっと長政が楽し
actually
いわ。
pretty engaging the first time.
長政、わらわしばらく
Then after like your
天井
eighth
をめでるわ。
playthrough, you're
お
like, yeah, I
客
don't
様
want to
のお
push
相
these
手よろ
bosses.
しく頼むよ。
I'm over that.
やめて。
well over it.
七政様にムラならないで
It's a blemish on an otherwise really good game. It doesn't.
待たれよ姉上。姉上。
Depends on how much you play it.
姉上ね。どこまで恥をさらせば気が済むのだ。許せ一番。嫁入り先がこのような。
生政様は悪くないわ悪いのはい
かに姉上とて過ぎたるわがままは悪。総員加速。右に回って撤退せよ。
姉様を懲らしめてくれるのそう騒がしいわね品定めも満足にできないじゃないいいわちょうど物足りなかったところだものあなたという名の献上品わらわが受け取ってあげる
くれるってんなら遠慮なくもらっとくよ。それがあんたの望みなんだろ。
そうねあなたのものにならなってもいいわただし義輝に勝つからねわらわに消えない傷が残ったらどうなるかし
Game feels so good to play.
ら何度だって
It's
追いか
sad,
けてきて
really.
ね
There hasn't been another Muso game on par with this
わらわが
since
そう決めた
nothing
の
else
だから
comes close. Why do you have to kill this series, Capcom? Give Resident Evil and Monster Hunter a break. At least port this to Switch or something. Do you not like money? It's not even about a new game at this point. Like, why is this not on the Switch? I seriously can't even understand.
天下取り。さて。
You know how many people would buy this on the Switch? And I mean, it runs on the PS3. Like, they could easily get
さ
it to
て
run.
この完璧に近い石田軍をどうやって崩
Just
し
like
たもんかね。
Tails. You don't make obvious choices
俺
that
だっ
like
た
make
ら
them
ま
money
ず
and make the
三
fans
成
happy.
あれはなかなかに働く
A lot of parallels
拉
between this
違い
and
な思考
Tails.
と行動が
And I'm like
少
super
々
passionate
読めぬ
about
で
both.
はあるが
The companies don't care.
その程度の褒め言葉で
Do the
平
things
然
they
と
should
図に
do.
乗るバカだ決して聞かれ
Alright,
る
well, I
な
think we can say this is pretty stable. I
あ
had one
あ俺と
crash,
行部さんをどうにか分
and it
断
was
して
it seemed like it was from my doing because I unlocked the frame rate,
ってことはだ
and that made it crash. But I've been playing for like a good
俺が
hour
負けね
now.
え限り
It only
石田
crashed
軍も絶
once.
対負けねえってこ
I
と
think
だ
it's safe to say this is pretty playable. It might still crash sometimes, but it's not going to be an excessive amount, which is what made this basically unplayable. Because this game is not so well made, it doesn't really have any fail safes for when it crashes. A lot of games now are way worse made than this, so they have like constant auto saves and stuff. So if something crashes, you're at best maybe you have to watch a cutscene again or do like a couple minutes of gameplay. But this, if it crashes, 10-15 minutes of your life is gone. I think this honestly is pretty playable now. I'd have to see an argument that it's not. And like I said, it has nothing to do with my computer. That has no bearing on it, because I've been playing this on the Steam Deck with the English patch, and I haven't had a single crash in several days. So, I guess I'll make a video about this. Probably not tonight. Very good news. Definitely needed some good news. It's, good news I wasn't expecting today. Wasn't expecting this game to ever work on PS3, on RPCS3. Alright, I think I had a couple other things I wanted to test before I probably go to bed in a little bit. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. That game's been broken. Pretty much all the BASARA games are broken. They're all on the same engine. They're all on MT framework. Which is ironic because I don't think there's any other MT framework game that people would actually bother to emulate, because pretty much all the other MT framework games have PC ports. I'd say the one exception would be Street Fighter Cross Tekken, but that's mostly just because that game has it still has Games for Windows Live. So it's like a real nightmare to set up netplay and everything. But like pretty much every other game on that engine that they made for PS3 has like a good PC port. So it's like literally that one thing, that those three games. So Utage, actually no, would be the HD collection, Utage, Sumeragi, and then Yukimura Den. They all have that same problem. So I'm going to assume that I don't have any of those other games, but I'm going to assume that you could just you could actually play those and have it not be a complete train wreck now. Seems like it. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to do extensive testing. Alright, so we're going to try Zelia 2 now. I want to see how that works. Alright, so let me reset the source because it still looks like it's soft locked. I guarantee it's not soft locked. The PS3 emulation, it fucks with the source on my recording software. So if I close out of it, it looks like it crashed. I guarantee you it did not crash. I know that might be hard to believe, but it was it was behaving well tonight. That was surprisingly stable. Let me make sure I got this patch set up before I boot this up. Alright, yeah, I think we're good to go. Okay, so for some reason, they haven't fixed this in like the past year, but if I have my controller plugged in and I try to load a game, it crashes. So I have to unplug the controller and plug it back in. I shit you not. Every single time I load something, I have to unplug my controller. Otherwise it crashes every single time. For some reason it doesn't like this controller that I have. I guess that they only test it with like more mainstream ones, but I really like my 8BitDo Pro 2. Probably could get like another controller, just use it just for this, but it's a minor inconvenience. Alright. The devs are missing out on like the best controller you can get right now. Like form factor and price. Form factor, price, functionality, because it works on everything but PlayStation pretty much. Even when these things die, I just get another one. Crash? Crash? That's ironic. This game is completely fine and it's crashed. It's like soft locked right now. But BASARA, like one of the worst games to play on this emulator, has worked perfectly. It had one crash that was my fault, but it can't load this. Oh wait, the frame rate counter's still moving. Maybe it's going. Oh, alright. I spoke too soon, I think. Maybe. Yeah, this game works great, even on the deck. Yeah, portable Xelia 2 is incredible. Alright. Safe to plug in the controller now. Kishigure. This game has an awful story, by the way. Trust me when I say, this game is best played not watching the cutscenes. The story is horrendous. One of the worst Tales game stories out of the entire franchise. Makes very little sense. There's a lot of depression porn. Character assassination, the works. But the gameplay in this is unmatched. You can look past that. It's an incredible game. Probably the best gameplay you'll get. I rank this as like one of the best Tales games. You just have to look past the fact that the RPG part of it sucks, meaning the story that keeps you playing. The story definitely does not keep you playing this game. The only thing that keeps you playing this is the combat. Alright, so I gotta use these, otherwise it'll have a high chance of crashing. I know that's like the main problem with this game is if you get the download that you can find on the internet that has all the DLC, a lot of times the game will soft lock on boots. It won't crash. It'll just soft lock because it can't handle all the DLC for some reason. I guess they didn't account for people actually buying all that useless stuff. So when you start this, before you do anything, if you get the game to boot and you install the DLC, the best thing to do is to install most of it, just activate most of it, and then save. That will ensure that pretty much every other subsequent boot will just work. In case you're wondering why I'm doing that. This is also with the true 60 FPS patch. It's also increased field of view as well. You can see this game is a really close camera, and you can see like a lot more of the screen than normal. So true 60 FPS, what it does is it makes it 60 FPS in the entire game, not just the battles, which doesn't really matter. This game doesn't really have any action elements in the field, but it's nice, obviously. If you can run this game at all, you can run it at 60 in town too. I got the undub as well because I originally played this in English, just for a little variety. Even though I think it's a downgrade in some ways, I can't stand Jude's Japanese voice. He sounds like he's 8. I actually really like the English cast. I just want a little bit of variety. English Jude is so much better than Japanese Jude. I can't stand his voice. I think most people would agree with that, though. English Jude is so much better than Japanese Jude. He's supposed to be like 16 in this game, and he sounds like he's 7. Really don't like that casting for him. He sounds way too young. Like he should already be like past puberty, but for some reason when they casted the guy that does his voice acting, I guess they told him to sound like he's 8.
魔物部隊の討伐完了。試験課題をクリアしました。
See if anyone's streaming right now, otherwise I'll keep going. Usual ass o'clock streams are all thrown off for me because they start an hour later. See, is anything on? I've had kind of an exhausting, mentally exhausting day. Not much I really want to be in front of people tonight. Uh, yeah, there's like nothing interesting on right now. Got Kamen Rider, the original Kamen Rider from the 70s is on. I've already watched that though. I've watched most of it. It's like 96 episodes. I've seen most of it. It's very episodic. You don't need to watch them all.
ありがとうございます。助かります。
ああ。
改札に届けてくれって依頼なんですけど、そんな依頼おかしい。だろう。とにかく。
Oh, this cutscene! This cutscene is so good. What a giga chat! Look at this shit.
こいつエーゼか。
Some cutscenes are worth watching. This one is worth watching. Anything involving story or character development, you skip.
いつ敵が出てくるかわからない。注意していこう。楽勝だったね。
Fucking Jude, man. I wish they gave you a better voice, because you're one of the coolest characters to play as.
来るよ。気をつけて。いけるね、リンク。
ああ。
僕も負けないよ。もう終わっちゃった。僕だってこれくらいは。
そこね。
楽勝だったね。いける。そろそろ戦闘車両だね。気をつけて。行こう、ルトだ。
よーし。
危ないから。列車が揺れてる。やっぱり何かが変だ。援護は任せて。今の感じ忘れないで。
そういえばあなた怪我とかしてない？
見つけた。どんどん行こう。そこね。通してもらいます。僕も負けないよ。楽勝だったね。エル、大丈夫？
平気、全然大丈夫だし。
楽勝だったね。もうすぐ戦闘車両だ。見つけた。あの人は。これは一体。
なんなの？やっつけた？
ルドが。